hey, you have access to so many knives. You could probably get any knife you want in the world. Your collection's probably huge. I said, yeah, it is, although it has been pared down a lot. He goes, are you jaded? And I was like, that is a good question. He goes, yeah, you see the same stuff over and over again. Do you ever get demotivated from reviewing knives? And for that matter, he said guns, tactical gear, whatever. And I was like, that guy is perceptive. And he's been watching the videos. Well, hopefully I don't seem jaded in the vids. I don't think so. I think my energy is usually good. But I do what I think is probably smart for a reviewer, and that is choose what I think I'll be motivated to review. The good stuff. I don't have time for the garbage. I've said that. I thought about it for a minute, his question. I said, well, the honest answer is yeah. I have been jaded at times. I see manufacturers redoing the same thing over and over again. Slight twists, slight variations. We do see that from Spyderco. Here's a Domino, and we've seen a lot of knives that look just like it. Like the Sage. I love them both, don't get me wrong. They're both great knives. I love the basic design so much. I don't mind tweaks of the same variation. But this knife is not groundbreaking, neither is this one. We've got a Benchmade Osborne Axis. This is a motivational knife for me. I don't see too many Osborne Axis knives coming out. This is the red 2002 version, dude. Oh, I don't even carry this one anymore. It's too collectible. Retired. It's just a cast member. Lee Williams flipper design from Kershaw, no longer produced. But we've seen a lot of different knives that come out looking about the same. I'm not throwing these knives out there for any reason. They're just available near the table. Occasionally, and that's what this review is going to center around, is I will dial into a knife that I think breaks the mold, that is different in a lot of different ways, that it's getting some really awesome things right in both first and second cool. I just reviewed this one. This is a mass drop special edition Ferrum Forge Crux. Go watch that video. This, although it is a frame lock and really doesn't break any new ground, the value level on this was very high for the quality level achieved. The Ferrum Forge. This is motivational for me. Maybe not because of a groundbreaking design, but for value. And I'm a value guy still. I like high value things. I too am a user, and I concentrate my watch reviews on that, my gun reviews, and my knife reviews on value whenever I can, because I think that helps most people out. Speaking of the watch, it is a Nautica Diver, reviewed a long time ago. I just haven't posted it because no one likes the watch reviews. So if you guys rave, maybe I'll post a review on this. I don't think it's even being made anymore. Technically a fashion watch, but it's a great diver. And I put this two-piece orange Zulu strap on it, nylon. Oh, it's great. Such a great I was going to say knife watch. I only paid like $60 for it too. On sale. Enough about the watch. Yeah, jaded. Yeah, I think we all do sometimes. But at the same time, I think most guys have their radar spinning in the gear world. And I think you're this way. Otherwise, you would not be spending time watching this TMP KRV. You wouldn't. You'd be doing something else. But your radar's spinning and you're saying, what's out there? What's Nutnfancy excited about? And then maybe it excites you as well. And I'm happy to report that I'm very excited about the blades I'm going to review right now. And I think they do break that, shall we say, jadedness. Jadedness. Going to clear the table a little bit here. The knives we're going to talk about also will prove a point about custom knives. Let me throw the mass drop one on here real quick, the Ferrum Forge. In this video on this knife here, I talked about, hey, if this was a custom blade, expect to pay twice, 3 times, 4 times as much. I'll stick with that. I paid $125 for this knife. Totally worth it. The quality, again, phenomenal. That bronze finish. The drop has finished. Watch the review. If you follow my Twitter account, you would have seen it and could have jumped on it. But it's gone, as far as I know. Might come back. Who knows? These knives are custom blades, and the actual custom blades are very expensive. I wish I had a ton of them from this manufacturer. I did manage to get 2. As such, they're worth about $1,250. That's right. The first one is the Brad Zinker, and that is the manufacturer, or the maker I should say, who's doing these knives, and this is the FR Slim Flipper. This one is $625. Yep, at Blade HQ. And check this out. They sell out at that price. They'll sell out. No doubt guys will show up and go, there's no way I would spend over $600 on a little tiny folding knife. I hear you, dude. By the way, I'm the same way. I wouldn't either. I'm exactly the same way. But I'm also very sensitive to the custom market, and I support what goes on in the custom market. I always have. Because these guys are spending a lot of their own sweat, blood, and tears to make these knives in their own shops. This is how they make their living. It is a U.S. produced knife. So if dude wants to charge $625 for it and it sells at that price, I say more power to him. And it does sell at that price. In fact, if you check my BHQ links below, and I may put some Amazon for the other knives down there as well, use them please, then you'll probably find out they're sold out. Even at $625. I spent some time on Brad's site. I don't know him personally at this point, Brad Zinker. I really like what he does in his knife world. I mean, it seems like it's a dude, a maker that gets SAWC totally. I mean, this knife, the FR Slim Flipper, is 1.6 ounces. It's a collectible EDC blade. Look at that, 1.6 ounces, gorgeous lines. We'll look more closely at the fit and finish on it as we go. A little bit disappointed on how these custom knives come, by the way. This is the other one I'm going to show you. It's a Brad Zinker. It's labeled Arc Tanto Duplex on the UPC code. There's another one that looks just like it. It's the, I want to make sure I get this name right. The Mini Urban Trapper. It's about the same. I have a hard time telling the two knives apart. One is using LMAX steel, this one, and the other one is using CPM 154 CM, or CPM 154, just like that one. So I would think as a custom knife maker, we need to come out with better packaging than this. Dude's paying $600 for a knife. Let's give him something special, because it's going to be a collectible. No one's going to put this in hard use. What a gorgeous knife it is, though. Once you get out of the very basic fleece-lined pouch, made in China, vinyl, by the way, not leather. Should be leather if you're going to do that. There you go, keeping it real. Great knife. Look at this. I'll probably mostly refer to this as the Urban Trapper Tanto. I'm sorry, that's the Boker Plus. See, I'm already getting them confused. The Mini Urban Trapper. And that does get to an important point. I'm working my way towards the Boker Plus versions, you may have guessed this already, of these knives, which are going to be much more affordable and just about as cool. Those are probably the ones you want to think about getting. But dang, son, the names are confusing. Very confusing. I mean, I spent some time, like a half hour on Brad's site, BHQ's, Amazon, and I'm still confusing the names. So if I get them wrong, sorry, but it's confusing. I think this is the T-Arc Tanto Duplex, and then it looks just like the Mini Urban Trapper. You'll recognize it by looks. I mean, for crying out loud. You'll see it. Man, is that a good looking knife. That is a great looking knife. And the size and the proportions of this knife are just spot on, dude. Spot on. 3.5 inch blade, I believe, in this one. Gosh dang it. I'm just really excited about these. So yeah, I'm not jaded about these blades. Now, a ventilated frame lock is nothing new. I get that. I mean, we've seen it from CRKT. The M16 EDC comes to mind. Great knife. I still have that one in my collection. I can't let that one go. I wish I would have brought it to table. The M16 EDC. Kit Carson design, super lightweight, spear point. I've had it resharpened, black blade, OD ventilated frame lock. And back in 09 to 2010, I talked about the practicality of a frame lock, like in mud, how it can get packed with mud and stuff. But these knives will never see that. They're collectibles. And again, the people who are buying these are probably ones that use Zinkers as part of their high-end custom collection, and they just want to add it to them. I mean, if I ever gear check you dudes and you're carrying a Brad Zinker $600 flipper knife, we're going to spend some time talking about your choices. Not to mock them. I'm going to congratulate you, but it'll be interesting to pick your mind about, you know, hey, I'm carrying a $600 DEC knife. That will be an interesting discussion for the audience, I think. Totally. God, I really love both of their knives. They are just so perfect. I mean, they look great. The fit and finish is there. And I'm going to cover them first, and then we'll go into the Boker Plus. And how many Boker? I only have one Boker Plus to show you, but I'm going to show you another one in screenshot, and we'll talk about it as we go. First up, let's go back to the FR Slim Flipper. Dudes, you know I love this blade shape. Classic drop point. I love the finishing that Brad Zinker did on it. It's bead blasted stonewash. Oh my gosh, is it good looking. This is CPM 154 as well. The edge is perfection. I'm not even going to cut with it because I don't want to put any wear on this. It's too expensive. I don't. Whoever ends up buying this knife, I'm going to be taking care of it for you, dude. I'm even wearing gloves. Yeah, it's a $625 EDC knife. Really love the blade shape. Rounded spine. Good edge. Excellent belly. That is just an ideal blade shape. Now, you don't need to go into a custom to find this. I'm going to show you, again, a Boker Plus takeoff on this knife that's doing exactly the same thing. I'm just talking about blade shape. And there's been all types of knives that have gotten it right like this. But again, we'll see the same blade presentation, shape, and design come out in design after design over and over again from different manufacturers. Different homages for sure. Then we'll go to this one. This Tanto. Surprising. You may be surprised I'm so stoked about this one. I love this Tanto blade. How there's like a very interesting grind at the tip there. This one again is in LMAX steel. And if you get the Urban Trapper Tanto by Brad Zinker, then I think he for now is, or at least for a period, was working in CPM 154. Both great steels. You can't go wrong with either one. Same finishing. Now for a $600+ custom knife, I would expect a polished edge. I'm not seeing that right here. How about you guys? Just saying. It should be, well, like a Nutnfancy edge. I've shown you my edges. Let me see if I have one on the table to show off. There's one right here. So in this domino, I sharpened this. This is what, and I've been using this, so this isn't like totally perfect. This is what your edge should look like, dude. Brad or whoever's doing a custom. I mean, when it comes out, it should be glistening. And it will stay that way because, again, they're collectibles and guys aren't going to be putting a lot of wear on it. But come on, man. This looks like a factory edge. Hey, it's sharp. I'm not saying it's not sharp. It's wicked sharp. But dang, son. How about this one, the FR Slim? About the same, a little bit better. The grind. I don't know if my camera can capture the super detail. Oh, it can. Check that out. Go Sony. Go Sony. Yeah, when you rock it back and forth, you should see a polish coming out. Philosophy of use, first and foremost, I said it, collectible. Secondly, if you're super brave and super rich, EDC it. Thirdly, gift knife. Although that's an expensive gift, dude. I mean, I could think of a lot better gifts that I wouldn't have to spend $625 on that would make the guy super duper happy. Heck, I could go out in the secondary market and find one of these Benchmade Osborne Axes in freaking red. What, for $250? 1/3 the price. Roughly. I'm guessing. Who knows? That's philosophy of use. Definitely not a tactical blade. No way. Speed and lockup on the Zinkers. And then I want to get to the Boker Pluses, trust me. I am also wearing gloves for a reason, and to show you how a flipper, if the flippers are large enough, are there any issues ergonomically with them. I wouldn't say that's wicked speed. Use a little wrist action right there. This is Urban Trapper / T-Arc Tanto, whatever the heck he's calling it. It's okay. And I think this is a ball bearing pivot. I know the Boker Pluses are using it. I think that's ball bearing in there. Really nice detent. Perfect retention on that one. The FR. I would say speed is good. It's not like amazing though. It's not. It just isn't. I'm using some wrist action to get it out more quickly. And then the flipper designs are adequate. There is a sharp radius right here. With some jimping on the FR. Jimping right here. Yeah, I would like them more rounded a little bit. Let's go back. Oh, I'm glad I have this one on table. So here we go, the Ferrum Forge. Look at that. So this is, I think, a little bit more ergonomic. See how that's rounded? It's also chamfered. I talked about that in the review. how it's really high attention to detail for such a production knife. Again, this is made by We Knives, and you can see the speed on that. It's just insane. And this is just, I think, a phosphor bronze bushing knife. Just some comparison and contrast. And now we're going to go to the Boker interpretation of these. And there's actually two I'm going to talk about. So this is the, I'll just call it the Urban Trapper Tanto, and then the FR Frame Lock, FR Slim. Dang, they're confusing. They are. First knife I want to show you is this one, the FR Frame Lock, and it's catalog number 01B0740. FR Frame Lock is it, and this is, dudes, what you should probably get. And this is a collaboration, no doubt, with Brad Zinker, and good on him. I mean, so if you want to spend and have a super collectible Brad Zinker EDC knife for $625, there you go. Get them while they're here, because again, they're going to sell out. But if you want the Boker Plus rendition of it, still a titanium ventilated frame lock. I forgot to mention the frame material, titanium, of course. Look at this. So here is the Boker Plus rendition of this knife. And I wish I had the Boker Plus one of this one. It's going to be the Urban Trapper Tanto at 01B0721 is the Boker Plus version of that. So this one's $630. The Boker Plus version is $85. The Boker Plus version of this one is $110. This one right here. We're going to see some differences for sure, because one is mass produced, one is made in a shop in the United States. At the top is the Boker Plus. You can see the finishing on the blade is completely different. Blade shape's the same, so insert all the praise I had for the blade shape, of course, but it's satin finished as opposed to bead blasted on the bottom. The steel is different. We're getting VG10 steel in this one, which is fine, but it's a very rust resistant, not a great edge holding steel. I'm glad they went with that over what Boker Plus often does, and that's their 440C, which I don't like their formulation. I never have. I think it's extremely hard to sharpen. It doesn't hold an edge. I don't know where Boker Plus, sources their 440C from, but I hate it. And a good example of this is the Stingray. This one right here. This is my experience. This is a 440C blade, and I've spent a lot of time trying to get a wicked edge on this, and I have failed. I have two. This is the other one. But the other one I worked on, and finally we just gave it away to a TMP. Here you go, bro, which we're doing in Patreon all the time. Look at this blade, and let's look at the flipper on the Boker Plus one. Really interesting and fun review. I like this review because it's rare that I do this, to actually bring a custom and then a mass-produced interpretation of the blades together. Identical flipper design, and also pivot screws are the same. It looks like it's a proprietary, but there's many torques inside there, so you can adjust it on both sides. I like that. Very similar design, obviously, because one is, basically aping the other one. Let's go to the handle of the Brad Zinker FR Slim. Look at the detail on this, though. So this is where it starts to shine. You can see the polishing of the titanium. You don't see any machining marks. Just really clean. Look at the jimping on the bottom, on the flipper, and lo and behold, none on the top on this one. This one does, though. The Urban Trapper has jimping on it. Thank heavens. I wish the FR Slim did. Sorry, I'm not focusing. I got to put my hand like that. There you go. Look at that, dudes. Oh, same handle execution. I really like this one because it has a longer handle and it's so lightweight. And I didn't tell you the weight on this one. It's 1.8 ounces, dudes, on this knife. 1.8 ounces with a 3.5 inch blade. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Got some detail on this side. Takes us to the clip. It's deep carry. Another thing I love about Brad Zinker knives, deep carry. You're stuck with it on this side. So if that makes you sad, lots of other knives to choose from, of course. Frame lock. Let's look at the timing on this one. No steel insert that I can detect there, which is kind of a miss. especially at the price point. What do you think? Say in comment if you think it should have a steel insert at $625. It totally should, Nutnfancy. And then, of course, the Boker, copying that one, won't have it either. So that's, I'll agree with you. That's kind of a miss. I like it when my titanium frame locks have a steel insert in them. It just minimizes wear. Yeah, you can see the detent ball in there. Let's check the retention of the Boker. I gotta look really close to make sure I'm picking the right one up. Really good retention. Centering is perfect, and look at how thin this is. Again, we're looking at the Boker Plus FR frame lock 01B0740 right here. Same clip, deep carry clip. It's on one side only. Just a great knife, dude. I freaking love this knife. I'm gonna buy one and just use it as a cast member because it gets so many things right. Like I said, it gets first cool right, very functional. Second cool, it's just a gorgeous knife, gorgeous presentation. And then we go to the real one. Are you getting confused between the two? I can't. I gotta look. I'm just basically looking at the finish. Like, I know that one's satin finish and this one's bead blasted. They're identical though. I mean, there might be different grades of titanium though. And there are. This might be a lower grade of titanium. I didn't check. Don't know. That Fair and Forge is a titanium frame lock as well. I love the clip though. It kind of reminds me of a Kershaw clip a little bit, slightly organic. And we saw a clip execution very similar in the, I hope I'm getting the name of this knife right, Stingray, isn't it? Yeah. This one we Cerakoted. That's why it's different color. This knife right here. Still like the knife, even though it's 440C. Obviously enough to keep it. I think the strength is adequate for EDC purposes, but if you were to put a lot of work on either of these, whether you're talking the Boker Plus, the BZ knife, you're going to have some problems. You're going to get some looseness. Handle execution. This is the genuine article. The $625 one is phenomenal. Looking at the details on the Boker Plus FR frame lock. Remarkable, actually. Really remarkable. Different titanium, perhaps. But dang, is it a close match for the $625 knife coming right here. Look. Pretty close, yeah? For all intents and purposes, as a user knife, you would want to use the Boker Plus, wouldn't you? Yeah, different steel, I get that. But go watch my video, by the way, posted like 5 years ago. The high-end carry option, HEC. So, guys who opt to carry expensive knives. I have yet to meet any of them, by the way. Notice this has some detailing that the Boker Plus does not. The ventilation holes here, which are polished as well. Interesting. Now, let me say this. I am aware, because I've been around a while here in life, that Brad Zinker could be pricing these high because maybe they want to push guys to go buy the Boker Plus variations. Totally cool with that. So yeah, 6 1/4, people would go, no way, I'm going to pay 6 1/4. And then the dealer shows this one, or maybe in this video, for instance, and they say, well, this one, this particular one, I think is 110. They go, yeah, I would do that one. Everything is relative, right? So when you go look at a car that's $450,000 and then you see one that's for $23,000, suddenly the $23,000 one seems like a total bargain. You get me? Totally. We talked about speed, lockup, centering, retention. They're all good. All good. I don't really have any criticisms. I'm not criticizing the blade. Can't criticize the handle set, its execution. I love that they went tip-up carry, deep carry clip. I mean, these ones are awesome. I would love to own this one. Actually, both of these. I'd love to own these. Like, if someone just gave me these, I'd like, oh, dude, I love them. I would just use them as cast members. Not going to happen, but I just love them. They're first and second cool for sure. But for a little bit less, actually a lot less, you go for this one. This one. I kind of wish they would have done a bead blast finish on this one as well. You could do that yourself, of course. I don't think anybody will, but you could. And I was mentioning that the Boker Plus version of this, if I haven't already showed it, I will now. It's the Urban Trapper Tanto 01BO721. Yeah, I did mention it. VG10, $85 from what I saw. 1.7 ounces, 3.5 inch blade, satin finishing as well. It looks just like this one. That's a knife I'd buy. In fact, I'm going to buy one of those. Great tabletop cast member. Totally, totally. I think you'll be extremely happy with the Boker Plus variation. I think it will break your jadedness, coining that word. For sure, if you don't want to go that route, there's still a lot of great options like the freaking SOG Twitch 2 and OS 8 cryoed steel. And let's show this in size comparison, by the way, just so you can see. That's interesting, dudes. Interesting. And where did that Osborne Axis go? The 940. There it is. That's a good size comparison. Look at that. The T-Arc Tanto is about the same size. And I raved how light this knife was, but this is lighter still. Of course, for the ventilating, and it's made of titanium, not steel or even aluminum. Although I have seen plenty of titanium knives that are not very light. Not very. These are wins. I mean, the custom knives, very few people are going to be able to afford it. They're going to spend that $600 on some combat handgun or something like that. Right? There are those that can and will and have spent that much money. For the rest of us, go to the Boker Plus line. Use my links at the bottom. I'll put several there for you. It does support the knife show and the independent voice of Nutnfancy. Well done, Boker. I'm glad they did this collaboration. Well done, Brad Zinker. These are awesome knives, Nutnfancy.